Sleeping Dogs came out almost 10 years ago, so you're probably wondering why I'm telling you need to play such an old game. Well, the thing is, we've all been sleeping on Sleeping Dogs. This game is amazing, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to see it. When I first played the game years ago, I gave up on it rather quickly, and I don't have an explanation as to why. It probably just comes down to my own short attention span, because I promise you, it's not the game's fault. And I'll tell you why.
Out of my mind, delirious. You should hop in the void if you're curious. I maneuver the flow of my energy willingly. Wizard of Zoo, the furious fool, releasing my demons and killing their moves. Just cause it was written don't mean that it's true. Disrupting my method, they want me to lose. Don't feel no pressure, been staying in tune.
The first thing I noticed when I loaded up the game on my Xbox Series X was just how good it looked. For a game that came out in 2012, it holds up really well, especially when compared to other games that came out around that time, like try loading up Hitman Absolution and tell me how good that looks these days. Plus, the fact that it runs at 4K 60 FPS on next-gen hardware adds so much to the gameplay experience. Not only does the art style hold up, but seeing it run as smoothly as it possibly can on console brings the experience to a whole nother level. Gameplay-wise, I have nothing but positive things to say. The open world is full of life and activities. It's not the biggest map of any game in this genre. In fact, it's probably one of the smallest. But the size doesn't matter if every inch of the map is absolutely worth exploring in some way. NPC conversations on the street seem to be in wide variety, as I can't recall coming across two NPCs saying the exact same thing. Side missions are fun, while they might be lacking a ton of depth to make them as engaging as the main story, but in my opinion it works for the game. Sometimes it can be hard to focus on the main story because side missions in other games have their own branching storylines to follow and it all just becomes one big jumbled mess. So it's honestly nice to have them all just be little encounters to take part in as you come across them naturally. Combat is a ton of fun. The gunplay could use a bit of work, but that's okay because it's not the focal point. That would be the excellent hand-to-hand combat. Think of it like a really dumbed down Sifu. Not that it's a bad thing, but I'd be lying if I said it was a complicated system. It's a little closer to Arkham combat, but it's not as free-flowing as rolling around on the floor as Batman. Either way, it's still fun. It makes you feel like a real badass when you can make it out of a long combat scenario without taking a hit. Plus, there are plenty of upgrades to unlock through your playtime and keep things fresh and give you more and more ways to beat up bad guys. Driving is a bit arcadey and can be frustrating at times, but it's still fun, and you can pull off these crazy drifts coming in and out of traffic at high speed. Plus, there's actually a pretty wide range of vehicles to choose from and some solid races to test your driving skills. But it's pretty easy to come in first place in each one. The story is strong enough to keep you engaged throughout, with a couple of moments that will actually make you widen your eyes in shock, and other moments that admittedly just remind you of normal criminal underground story cliches that come with this kind of game, or really any media in this genre, to be honest. Now I say that, but of course the game gets spiced up a little bit by being both a cop and a criminal. I'm sure most people know that's a huge part of the gameplay by this point, and yeah, it's fun, but most of the time it seems like the criminal side is a little overpowering. Either way, it does add a lot because you can go do cop missions, you can go just randomly arrest somebody on the street, you can do a lot of things with that, so it makes it fun. Basically, you need to play this game if you haven't given it a chance yet. If you tried the game years ago and it didn't stick with you, like what happened with me, now's the time to go check it out, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Think of this game as GTA, but with really good combat. Honestly, it's the best way I can put it, because I truly believe that this game should be held on par with a GTA title. It's just as good. At the moment, we'll never get a sequel to this masterpiece, but maybe, just maybe, if we all go out and buy copies of the game, Square Enix might bless us with the Sleeping Dogs too. Hey, a man can dream, right?
Told my baby come and sit a waist up on my goatee. Full-blown Florida boy, I'm only missing goatee. Everything's kosher, just watch the way you approach me. I'm Goku, on the full moon, fighting Broly. Even on my dolo, I be moving like I'm floating.